This next client is a middle-aged young woman who had some unhealthy tissue that the that her doctor went in to get, and there was a tumor that they needed to get an MRI to locate it exactly. And so these are some snippets from 3 different sessions, 3.5 different sessions that we did in between before the MRI was done. And the sessions are going to work their way down through having different emotional, mental, spiritual, some different perspectives where this illness came from, and then setting her up for self-care. Like I had suggested earlier, what I want to do is just work silently for a bit, and if you can just relax, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm going to go through a bunch of things real quick. There's several minutes of silence while I'm working. Okay, yeah, and so we're going to ask you again, do you feel calmer, clearer, more able to look at it than you did before I called? Yeah, and this should stick, where you'll be able just to go, okay, I understand I have this problem, I don't know yet, it's unclear yet, and I'm not going to let it. You see, when we first started working with you it's been a couple years ago, you would churn and over-process and become very fearful, and a lot of, there was a lot of self-hatred, and, and that would lead to deeper complications with people. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just don't do that anymore, do you?
No, this is just the first time I will say, between health and just some uncertainty with my
That's right.
financial situation with work, where I kind of feel like that old victim mentality has come back. And
Okay, very quickly, what we want to try to do is to actually work more directly with the mass for just a minute. So if you could take and place one of your hands in the center of your chest over your heart. And if the other hand, if you could lay it over the top of your body that's closest to the mass. And just give us a moment to relax for a second. Now, were you able, did you feel any physical felt sensations?
actually, believe it or not, the hand where they nicked the nerve, where they put the IV in,
Right.
felt a huge surge of energy through that hand and arm that I haven't felt in a long, over a week.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is ask that you help us by relaxing even more, and and letting we could say, well, we just want to relax. We'll go ahead and say this is that there was too much fear, agitation to allow us to work through you to help yourself. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And so how does that hand feel now? Normal? Tingly? Warm? How does that hand feel now?
Feels tingling.
Feels what?
It feels tingling.
Okay. Now, if you can let that tingly sensation move down into the body. Does that help?
It feels nice.
Okay, we're going to relax for just another minute. If you can just relax with us. So I had to get her more relaxed so she could help, and
under several minutes of work.
Hey, anything you want to describe now?
I just realized how not nice I've been talking to myself, because when I started talking to myself nicely and calmly, everything kind of calmed down.
That's right. That's right. What a physical mass, in your genitals is, well, any physical mass like this. What occurs is certain certain meridians get clogged. And again, we were saying earlier is that the seeds of this clogging started long ago. Long ago. And so what we're doing is just to help clearing these meridians a bit, and it feels good, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yes, and again, just continue to relax with us.
Again, there's 5 or 6 minutes of silence where I was working that I cut out of this.
Anything you would like to comment on now?
The nicest breathing I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Things don't seem so bad.
That's right. They're actually not as bad now, Like many of the things that we've done in the past is, if you start feeling yourself getting too fearful again, you can merely place your hands in these positions. We want to joke. You might not want to do it, in the middle of a restaurant. But on the other hand,
Right.
who really gives a damn, Who really gives a damn? And, but this would be a way that you could assist yourself, not just with emotional, or not just with emotional clearing. For this is more than emotional clearing, you understand?
I do.
This is actually working on the meridians that lead to the area where this mass is located. And it clears them of the very things that the seeds of this physical illness, the seeds from which this physical illness sprang forth.
There's a lot of anger there.
That's right. That's right.
I can tell you that, and
Yeah.
my ex-husband plays into this exactly where the mass is, based on
Correct.